So hello and welcome to another video from Adrian and Davey at Pure Electric. In this video I'm going to be talking about the TIS 859, which is a continuity and voltage indicator. It does a lot more than that, and I've got to be honest, when I first held this tester in my hand I thought that the picture in the catalogue doesn't actually do it justice, because I'd seen the picture but not actually took into sort of consideration the quality and feel of it, to be fair. So holding this in my hand now is IP65, so it is well and truly waterproof. It's got a nice rugged feel to it. It feels durable, it feels like it would last. It's not like some of the other sort of voltage continuity testers that you hold, they feel quite light. This actually feels quality, okay? And there's quite a few things that I like about it. It's got this detachable black lead, okay? So if it breaks or you damage the lead, you don't have to buy a whole new unit. I think this test lead is about £15 to buy. It has a detachable red lead, or red nozzle probe, should I say, up here. So again, if you break that, that is replaceable as well. Both these probes have retractable tips, okay? So a bit like the Martindales. These are retractable tips, and if you're worried about the size of these tips, because they are quite fat, they are actually adjustable, so you can get them still into small terminals. Now when I first saw this, I thought, I wonder if that will fit into the 4mm jacks on these, for instance lamp adapters or socket adapters. Where have I put one? Like this one, for instance, a socket adapter with 4mm jacks. Because if you could, then also you would be able to put crocodile clamp on. And now we're into a new ball game. Okay, I'll come on to this in a second. So 4mm tips go into these adapters like so. Okay. And if I wanted to do safe isolation of a light fitting, for instance, I could plug that in up here, switch it on, the LEDs would light, and you can hear the vibrating, okay? And that tells me the power's on. I would then find the breaker, power's off, okay? Perfect. Safe isolation, you know, I'd obviously prove it on the test unit. I'm going to do a safe isolation video in a minute, but you know, just as a quick demonstration for this, you can see the benefits. And also as well, you can do that with the plug-in sockets as well. So again, you can hear that off, LEDs come up. I've got 230 volts on the LEDs. The LCD display says 235 volts, and that's off. Something else that this does, which is quite clever, is that if I put that into the live and earth of the socket, obviously I'll get a voltage. Okay, so that's telling me I've got 230 volts, 233 volts on the LCD display. If I press this RCD button, it trips out the RCD. Fantastic for finding circuits. Now I've got a feeling I've just tripped out the RCD downstairs, so I'm going to have to go and put that on. Okay, so I've now put the RCD back on again. So what else does it do? Well, we've got a flashlight at the top here. You can put the flashlight on. The same button also does non-contact voltage detection. Okay, so I hold this down, EF comes up. I then put that against something that I think is live. It's got an antenna on the top right hand side. As you can see, I've got a movable bar. So as I come in, I'll get one dot. See if I can get this to do more. 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots. Okay, so the closer you get to something, the more it picks up the magnetic field, the more the LED display goes up. So that's quite a nice touch, I think. Also as well, you can use the probe as a reference point for the same test. So if I hold down EF, if I put that into a live pin, it tells me, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it tells me that that is live as well. Let me just bring this in. Okay, so that tells me it's live as well, which again is quite a nice touch, I think. So you can already see that this has got quite a few nice features on it that a lot of other voltage indicators don't have. So coming back to that test probe and the 4mm jack, when I'm at work and I'm trying to do some fault finding, for instance, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but on your continuity tester, if you touch the pins hard enough, you can get continuity for yourself. Okay, and when you're trying to press these tips against something loose, like a piece of cable, for instance, and you're trying to just dab that on there, the cable's moving about all over the place, you struggle. So the fact that you can get this test probe into a crocodile clip is a game changer for me, absolute game changer. I always forget that you can pick up continuity for yourself with one of these, because I use a Fluke T5 myself, and it doesn't have the same problem. But with this, when I was at college a few weeks ago, I was trying to help an apprentice find a fault on a ring, and I'm thinking, God, I've got continuity everywhere, what's going on? And I'd forgotten that if you press your fingers against the tips, you get continuity. Whereas with this, the ability to be able to put a crocodile clip on the end of that, on one end, and test to the other, now I know that I've definitely got continuity and it's not through me. So that for me is an absolute game changer. And if there's any other manufacturers out there watching this video, this is the way forward. The fact that it's got retractable tips does that. Okay, so it is a bit of a pain and that keeps flying off. However, you can, like I say, change that lead and swap it for just another lead that takes a 4mm jack. In this instance, it's a mega lead. I'll just put that in there, and now that won't fire off the end. So what you might want to look at, gents, when you're creating these voltage indicators, is maybe a test lead that the crocodile clip twists onto, because that way I could then theoretically clamp that onto something and leave it hanging, maybe. I don't know if I'm thinking a bit too far into this. Press my light switch or something, and then be able to see the voltage go on and off, which would be for me a game changer, rather than having to get down the ladder, do the test, switch the light off, go back up, do the test again. Being able to leave that somewhere, absolute game changer. Like I said, if you do use the adapters, it does fit in there quite nicely, so you can actually walk away from that being plugged in. That is off, that is off. Let's put this back on again. So look, I can switch that off, switch a switch off, I know that that's dead. Go to the breaker, I can hear it vibrating, switch that off. Fantastic. I mean, there's a lot that I like about this tester. Also, when you're doing continuity, I don't know if you can see this, it does have a gate open, gate closed function. So closed, open, closed, open. So you also get not only an audible sound, you get a visual indicator as well. So maybe if you're working in a noisy area and you can't hear the sound, or you've got ear defenders on, you can actually see it as well. The light also, I should point out, lights up the screen. I don't know if you can see that. If you're in a dark room, again, you can light the screen up as well. So, as I was saying, there is an RCD function on here as well to trip out an RCD, and all that does, it just leaks 30 milliamp of RCD down the earth that trips the RCD out, creates an imbalance in the load. So for finding circuits, that saves even having a circuit finder. If you could plug that into this, for instance, plug that in to there, plug that into there. It tells you you've got voltage, it tells you what voltage you've got. You then press the RCD trip button, and then that will cut the RCD out as well. So if it was an RCBO, which is the way we're all going now, then that's your circuit finder as well. Which I think there's a lot of things that we could use with this tester that will just make things a lot easier. I mean, why have a separate piece of kit? Why have a separate circuit finder if you can use this to find the circuit for you? I mean, for me, that's an absolute game changer, and I am going to do a video separately on all the things that I think safe isolation should include and the way forward, because there's a lot of new technology now on the market, and I think the safe isolation process needs updating. So watch this space. Okay, what else does it do? Well, it also measures capacitance. It has a button on here for capacitance. I press that, I come up with a hold it down, shall I say, 3-digit display. And then when I touch that on a capacitor, it would tell me the amount of capacitance that capacitor is working at. Same for resistance. I've got a resistance button here. Hold that down. I get 3 digits at thousands of ohms. And if I touch this together, you will see that display go up. Okay. So again, you can measure the amount of resistance that's there. I mean, it doesn't go down really low, but it will go down low enough to pick up a ring, for instance, a normal size ring. So something else that it does as well is it does phase rotation. Now, according to the instruction manual, it only does phase rotation for star 3-phase with a neutral, so 4-wire. Okay, it doesn't do delta 3-phase with 3-wire. Okay, I don't know why. You'd have to ask. But I just thought, it's worth pointing out. And all you would do for that test is you would put L1 probe onto L1, the L2 probe onto L2, and then it will tell you which way it's going. Okay, so whether that's going to the right or to the left, the phase rotation. You then go to L2 to L3, and it will obviously the phase rotation should still be going right. And then you would do L1 to L3, and the phase rotation should still be going right. So again, this is packing a lot of functions that a lot of electricians will be using in their everyday life, and it all comes in one handy sized unit. Okay. Well, as you can see, the TIS 859, well, one thing I forgot to do is show you the LCD display, which I will do now by putting it into this proving unit. There we go. So a nice display, 842 volts off of this proving unit. See, it's quite a nice looking piece of kit, isn't it? Good. I hope this has been of some use to you, and I hope that this is given some manufacturers something else to look at, because like I said, the fact that you can change the leads, you can put crocodile clips on it, you can put it into lamp adapters or socket adapters, absolute game changer. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been some help, and take care.